Hey everybody, it's Dean with RC Driver. Hope you're all having a great day. Way back when I started racing two-wheel drive off-road, cars were really simple. Minimal shock adjustments, maybe change the oil, maybe change the springs, a couple positions on the tower, a couple positions on the arms, and that was about it. You had to make the best with what you had. Today, things are considerably different. Between the different types of tracks, cars have evolved to be very, very tunable. What I have here, the Schumacher Cougar KC, is perhaps the most tunable vehicle I have ever come across. Front to back, the possibilities to get this car set up are nearly limitless. So let me tell you everything I can about this awesome two-wheel drive off-road machine. To start off with, what I have here is the Schumacher KC. This is designed for high traction carpet and AstroTurf racing. Schumacher also has the Cougar KD, which is designed for dirt and low traction surfaces. Since my home track, RC Madness, has an AstroTurf outdoor track and a carpet indoor track, I thought it was best to give the KC a try. So let's start right up front with the KC. What do we have? We're designed to race on carpet. We've got a shock tower protector. When a car flips over on carpet, the front shock tower takes a lot of abuse. On dirt, there's usually some give. On carpet and AstroTurf, not so much, so this plastic shock tower protector is a must. I don't know of any other vehicle that has this, so very, very nice feature. The steering knuckles can be adjusted up or down. There's a shim on either side of the knuckle. Right now I have it set to the center, but you can raise it or lower the knuckle. We have gull wing suspension arms to really help set that ride height low. Moving our way back, it's got a reversed dual bell crank to help save room. The plate has two adjustment holes as well, and of course, everything rides on smooth ball bearings. The KC features 12mm wheel hexes, and these wheel hexes have been machined to be lightened to reduce the overall rotating mass. Looking at the C-hubs, those can also be adjusted forward or backward by moving one shim front to back. Right now I have the shim set to the front of the A-arm, so it pushes the C-hub back. Again, adjustability is key with this vehicle. Let's pop off the body now and show you what's under the hood. First off, the body fits nice and snug to the chassis. Let's talk about running gear real quick. I'm running a high-tech, low-profile steering servo. That said, this vehicle is designed in such a way that it can run a low-profile or standard-size servo. I'm running an Orca B32 LCG speed control. This is a zero-timing blinky speed control designed for stock class racing. I've got my Futaba receiver. I'm running a Futaba 3PV radio system. Basic radio system, but it's got a great feel and plenty of adjustments. And I'm running a Team Scream 17.5 turn motor. Another piece of running gear we put on this car is an APS motor fan. I used a little adhesive, put it to the chassis. It blows directly on the motor to make sure it doesn't run too terribly hot. We've got our transmission here. It's a belt drive transmission. I'm going to get a little bit more to that. But behind the transmission, I'm running a New Wave 5600 milliamp Shorty LiPo pack. It's actually a lithium high voltage battery pack, so you can charge it a little bit higher voltage, but that's not quite legal for racing. For tires on this machine, I went with low profile cut stagger front tires and cactus rear tires. These tires are very similar to what people are already running at RC Madness, so I anticipate good things from them. All right, let's get back to the features. The Schumacher Cougar KC has a 2.5mm thick aluminum chassis, and on either side of this chassis are carbon fiber stiffeners. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 screws and nuts that hold those stiffeners into place. You can remove some of them, tighten them more, loosen them more to better tune the flex of the chassis. The motor and transmission position on the Schumacher Cougar KC can be set to one of 4 positions to tune this vehicle to the exact surface you're racing on, whether it be high traction, low traction, tight track, open track, and so on. Position 1, the motor and transmission will be mounted as far forward as possible, and you would use a long belt. The battery would be mounted between the shock tower and the motor and can be moved forward or backward a little bit to better tune weight distribution. Position 2, like I currently have the car set up, the motor and transmission are moved a little further back, and you can only run a Shorty battery pack, and it's mounted between the motor and transmission. Position 3, you move it back a little bit further, the battery switches and is mounted in front of the motor. And position 4, the transmission is mounted right against the rear shock tower and the motor in front of that, and the battery can be mounted in front of the motor with a little bit of wiggle room to better tune weight distribution. So talking about the transmission a little bit more, yes, we've got our belt that takes power from the 3-gear transmission to the rear gear differential. We've got a standard slipper clutch over here. Schumacher's is a little bit different. The spur gear rides on a bearing. So if you were to run, say, an associated spur gear, you can't run that bearing and you need to use a reamer to open up the hole on the spur gear a little bit more. I currently have a 75 tooth spur gear on here. It comes with an 83 tooth spur gear because I am running a 17.5 turn stock motor. All the way to the back, we've got a gear differential that is fluid filled. It's got a pretty high volume, so the feel of that differential will stay consistent throughout a long run. We've got universal drive shafts all the way to the back. Oh, back to the transmission. The differential height can be set to one of 3 positions, again, to better tune this car. Everything about this car is tuning to get it set up to the exact track you're on. The back of the Schumacher Cougar KC features universal drive shafts that take power to 12mm hexes and the wheels, so they're strong, lightweight, and they're bound to last. Another great tuning feature is the position of the rear shocks. Sure, we've got several positions on the tower, several positions on the arm, but we can move the shock tower back and mount the shocks to the back of the suspension arms, or as I have them set here, to the front of the suspension arms, to better get this car set up for wherever you're at. Depending on the way you set this car up, you can run shorty battery packs, saddle style battery packs, or even the square brick style battery packs. Because I'm running this car in position layout 2, I'm running a shorty battery pack. What's nice is 2 graphite battery straps hold the battery into place, and there's big oversized thumb screws that are going to be hard to get lost that hold the battery and the straps into place. The battery is not going to slide around. Also, it comes with different battery posts, so should you be running one of the thinner LCG style battery packs, you don't need to come up with foam spacers. You just put the different posts in. They're shorter, bam, the battery will fit perfectly. Let's talk about the shocks real quick. To start, they have a titanium nitride coated shaft, so they're going to last a very long time. There's dual O-rings at the bottom of the shock and a lower cap to make building and rebuilding very easy. The shock bodies are threaded to make preload adjustments quick. It's a 2-piece cap. And again, it's a very, very smooth and plush feel, and they've got core RC springs that have got a perfect feel. Really, really nice from top to bottom. To complement the shocks, there's 4mm thick carbon fiber shock towers front and rear. And again, as I said, multiple mounting positions to tune this car to wherever you're at. Schumacher gave the Cougar KC this shark fin style body. It's got a front cab design to create a lot of downforce. Again, it's got our shark fin in the middle. Really, really smooth, sleek design. It's again designed to create downforce. This body was sent to Bradley Farmer of Bradley Fine Line Design. I don't give him much direction. I just say, give me something nice. And of course, he delivered a fantastic green and orange body that's easy to see on the track and very, very eye-catching. So I've told you about all sorts of features of this fantastic Schumacher Cougar KC. Let's show you some video of this car in action. So you've had a chance to see the Schumacher Cougar KC in action. I've got to say, this car is absolutely hooked up. We didn't make a single change through the 3 or 4 battery packs we ran through the car at the track, and each time we were able to push the car a little bit harder around. Let's talk about the setup I used. To start, I didn't use exactly what the instructions call out for. I did make a few changes, but nothing substantial. I went and looked at some setup sheets on the Schumacher website, looking at the different tracks that the car's been running on, and because of that, the instructions tell you to build the car with the shocks to the back of the A-arms. I did move the shocks to the front of the A-arms. I also built it with motor mounting position 2. The stock instructions tell you to build it a little bit differently. But again, I think it's always wise when you're building a car for the first time. Look at how the pros are running the car, look at the track you're on, and build accordingly. So again, we ran this car for 3 or 4 battery packs, didn't make a single change to the car, and each time we were able to push it around the track harder and harder. Cornering, this car is an absolute monster. It's got plenty of on power and off power steering to make corners nice and tight and quickly. It jumps very, very flat. The attitude of the car was boom almost every single time. Very, very pleased. Durability, we did take a few tumbles, we did clip a few boards. Not a problem whatsoever. The car came back in one piece. Never popped a ball cup. The wing is still in great shape. Overall, very, very happy. If I had to make any changes to this car, they would be minor at best. I'd probably pick up a set of sway bars for the front and back of the car to help eliminate any body roll, and I'm sure that would help this car corner a little bit quicker. And maybe thicken up the shock oil from where I started. I use the stock shock oil, but that would be about it. I want to thank you for watching this video today. Please give it a like, subscribe to our YouTube channel here, and make sure you click the little bell and get our notifications. Like us on Facebook, and always check out rcdriver.com.